Welcome! If you're new to my channel, I am 𝐀𝐿𝐼, founder of 𝐀𝐟𝐼𝐿𝐼, and I'm here to share whole food plant-based recipes, practical tips on transitioning to plant-based lifestyle, and meal plans for both whole food plant-based and vegan candida diet. Today I'm all cozy here on my couch in my living room, and to be honest, I'm waiting for a guest.
Which some people might think is a little bit dangerous, but luckily...
And you were alone.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was.
You're making me feel like really uplifted now.
Well, good. At least I'm not making you feel embarrassed. This whole world opens up to you that you didn't even know about before. A place where 10 new, even better things that you're just so excited to eat every day, like things that were
exactly
affordable.
Like a peasant. It was a peasant food.
They get forgotten because we end up eating like kings.
Because peasants were always fit, whereas kings were fat. Okay, and here she comes. Hi.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
So this is Sophie, a very good friend of mine, I dare to say. At least she has become one in a very short period of time. And yeah, I'm really happy to have you here on my YouTube channel to chat about whole food plant-based lifestyle. And to be more precise, we will be speaking about transitioning and to all kinds of difficulties you might encounter when transitioning, and about families, gatherings, so on and so forth.
That's right, and I'm delighted to be here, and I really appreciate you having me on your YouTube channel. I've been an avid watcher and an avid reader of the blog, so it's a massive honour for me to be here.
Thank you so much. I think we will start with our story, how we met and how Sophie became to be here in Tallinn. I think that might be interesting.
Sure.
So I think it was a bit more than 3 years ago when we met through, Instagram.
Yeah, so I initially went whole food plant-based in 2016, and I really was interested in finding out a lot more about nutrition, and so I did the certificate of plant-based nutrition, which you have also done, with 𝐀𝐟𝐼𝐿𝐼, and learned so much. And then at the end of the course, they kind of channel you through onto this beautiful website full of aggregated recipes from lots of different contributors. And I was scrolling through, and there was just certain photography that stuck out to me. Beautiful photography with gorgeous flowers and beautiful plates and gorgeous old spoons and things like this. And I was instantly drawn to it. And the recipes were really lovely, and I thought, wow, here's somebody that is eating the same way as me. And I'd been scouring all across the internet trying to find somebody that had this similar diet to me, that was creating recipes to help me, and I hadn't found anybody else before. And of course, you probably guess where the story's going. The person turned out to be 𝐀𝐿𝐼. So straight away I went into Instagram. I found the 𝐀𝐟𝐼𝐿𝐼 account, and I think also I hopped onto Facebook as well, and I started following you on every single channel that I could, and then sent you a really excited message saying, oh my goodness, I've just come to this, lifestyle, and I've just got my certificate in plant-based nutrition, and I found you, and I'm really excited. Can we be friends, basically? And so, yeah, there the friendship was born, and so we just had a back and forth, didn't we?
Yeah, I remember Sophie introduced me to this Japanese fermented soybean dish that's called natto, and then I introduced you to raw buckwheat.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were just chatting away, and then it was 2 years ago in the summer when my family and I had vacation in Barcelona, and Sophie just happened to be in Europe, and we invited her over, and she came, and we spent the most incredible 3 days together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and ever since I feel like she's been a very good friend. So.
Yeah, so it felt like, actually, when I remember that vacation, it felt like longer than 3 days, because I think we just spent so much time, and we did so much, and we talked so much.
Because we lived in the same apartment, and it's different than you just meet someone for a few hours a day.
Well, that was a huge leap of faith on your part, because we were internet friends, and even though we'd spoken and we knew that we had lots of values that were aligned and we had all these things in common and it was good fun, and we introduced each other to new things, that's quite a different thing to having somebody come and stay in your apartment with your family, which is what Nella did. She invited me to join herself, her husband and her son in their holiday apartment in Barcelona to actually stay with them. So it was a huge gesture and really, really generous.
Well, vice versa as well, because you were going to stay with someone you didn't know, actually. So
which some people might think is a little bit dangerous, but luckily...
And you were alone?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. I was alone. But luckily, I think, well, I can't speak for everybody, but kind of in this genre of trying to be very natural and wholesome and nutritious, I don't think there's that many scary people, but I can't speak for everybody. But yeah, we were really lucky. We just instantly got along really well, and it was amazing to be on holiday with your family because I got to know them as well, and they were so sweet and so welcoming. And we had a really lovely time together, didn't we? And we
did.
We did a lot of touring around Barcelona, and you showed me around because Nana lived there for some time in the past. And we went to all your favourite haunts for good food, and you also cooked at home, and I got to experience the actual food that I'd been making from the recipes, which was like a really weird experience. Like, it's made by Nella's own hands, because before I'd been recreating it in my own kitchen, but to have the person that's designed the recipe make it for you, there's something quite poetic about that. So that was really lovely as well. And we met another Instagram friend, didn't we? And we just had a lovely time. And we've kept in touch ever since then, and have definitely swapped ideas with each other. But I have to say, it's only fair to say that I have learned so much from Nella, that my transition into the plant-based lifestyle has been shaped by certain people, and Nella has probably been the biggest influence on me in terms of just kind of how she's guided the way that I cook, the way that I look at ingredients now, lots of knowledge about how ingredients can help me and feed my body in different ways. I constantly learn from her, and I constantly feel inspired. And I think there's kind of the essence of what I think Instagram really wants to be about is inspiring you with ideas. And it has become quite a different thing for a lot of people. And one thing that Nella's page always does is just that pure inspiration for me, just that really nice kind of ideas, and just coming from a genuine place that's trying to help people. And she's really helped me. So
you're making me feel like really, really uplifted now.
Well, good, at least I'm not making you feel embarrassed. But yeah, just to say that, like, it's as much as you're a friend, you have been a guide to me as well. So I really appreciate all of your influences, and I've taken them on board, and I will carry them through my life, and I'll continue to feed the people that I love with the skills that you've given me. So I appreciate that. Thank you, and I'm sure lots of other people do as well.
So this is the reason I started my blog, actually, to share the recipes, to show people that plant-based lifestyle is delicious and it doesn't have to be dull at all. It makes you thrive, and it's so exciting. Yeah,
and that's what I meant, actually. That's a better way to describe what I meant when I was trying to find somebody that ate in the same way as me, or the parameters that I wanted to eat within, that still was so creative with recipes, that understood that food didn't have to taste boring, or didn't have to be a chore or some kind of punishment. That in fact it was the opposite of that. It was about abundance, it was about eating until you're full with beautiful food and creating delicious flavours with the massive amount of ingredients that we have. Like, some people may look at my lifestyle and think, oh, she actually restricts herself. And I would argue that when I opened my world up to this new way of living, I discovered so many new ingredients I had no idea existed before then, and all these beautiful combinations you can make.
Same here when I started.
It's incredible. Like, this whole world opens up to you that you didn't even know about before. And old favourites that you thought you could never give up get replaced by 10 new, even better things that you're just so excited to eat every day. Like, we're so passionate about this, and it's for a reason. It's because we eat awesomely all the time, and there's such a joy in that.
For me, it can sound quite funny at the moment, but for me, one of the things I discovered was actually lentils, which is for vegans, it's kind of, so ordinary, so staple. But for me, I had like a few times I had lentils, but it was not a common food in our home or in any our like parents' homes, because it always was the meat and the dairy, but the beans and lentils were kind of forgotten, even though in Estonia already back in the old days people grew lentils.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's like an old plant that thrives really well in our climate.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And it's so good for you, and you're meant to eat it here. It's perfectly grows here, and it's a shame that some of these, which I would call maybe peasant foods or things that were
exactly
affordable,
like a peasant. It was a peasant food.
They get forgotten because we end up eating like kings, and actually those peasant foods, the ones that are supposed to grow in our country, are the ones that we're really supposed to eat. There's such an abundance of nutrition and all that kind of stuff, and it's very affordable.
Because peasants were always fit, whereas kings were fat.
Yeah, that's right. Peasants had to work in the fields and labour, and they needed food that sustained them, that they could afford. And I just think there's something just so pure about that. Like, we'll probably touch back on that later, but I feel strongly about the real food.
Yeah, we just got lost here with our story.
Okay.
The story, how come you're here in Tallinn at the moment?
Yeah. So thank you for putting me back on track.
So Sophie happened to be in this part of the world, in Latvia, Estonia part of the world.
Yeah, that's right. So I've never visited Eastern Europe before, and I have a kind of different lifestyle in that myself and my partner Ben, we travel around the world a lot with business, and it happened that we had a meeting in Riga, and I kind of quickly checked online and realised, it's like a 4-hour bus journey away from Tallinn. So being so close, it would have been criminal not to come and visit you.
Indeed.
So we were really lucky that we had got to do that. And then what initially was going to be like a 3-day weekend or something, we've ended up extending because thankfully we have a lifestyle that allows us to be a bit more flexible.
Yeah. And now we've already been here for a week already, almost. Yeah.
And we've been able to extend for another few days, and now we're able to spend more time and do lovely things like this video. So really blessed to be able to do that.
Yeah, I really love, we're having walks in the park where I have my walks like every day, and now I can do it with Sophie. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's lovely. I'm a big walker as well, and actually when I'm with Nella, it's like I don't even notice that I'm walking, like, and we're in this beautiful place and we're talking all the time, and I don't even realise that I'm exercising. It's just when we're done, I'm like, wow, we've walked almost 4 miles or something, and I couldn't even tell. It's been really fun, and it's very beautiful here.
Yeah, great. So this was our story. Don't stop here, as in the next video, Sophie will be sharing her personal transitioning story. What were her reasons and triggers? Was her partner supportive? And most importantly, she will be giving us 4 valuable takeaways for any lifestyle change really, including diet.
I had 2 sleepless nights and I couldn't stop thinking about it. I made the switch overnight and I never went back.